Hey, what's going on, everybody? Happy Wednesday. Hope you're all doing well. I want to talk about one of my favorite pillars to lean on when it comes to knowing if you're using the law of attraction in your favor, if you're doing it correctly, or if you're going against the grain, so to speak, and causing more resistance to attracting the life that you want and the outcome of your desires. So hang tight. If you like the video, please subscribe to the channel, like the video. It helps a ton when it gets this content out to a wider audience by means of how the algorithm works. So thanks in advance. So I've got the integration pillars that I call. They represent two sides of a coin, opposites, polarity. One is long term versus short term. You analyze what habits, what thinking patterns that you have in your life that are long term investment minded, things that are about sowing seeds and letting go of the outcome, slowly watering those seeds, versus short term happiness. Are you very invested in short term highs, dopamine, scrolling, junk food, addictions, whatever? That's one of my favorite pillars. One of my favorite pillars I want to talk about today, though, is the unity versus separation pillar. There's also the empowerment versus disempowerment pillar. I could go on and on, but today's focused on the dichotomy of unity versus separation. So, if you've had a spiritual awakening, an enlightenment of sorts, you may have noticed the interconnectedness of all life around you. A lot of people come to a realization that God is in all things, in all life, in the trees, in the air, in the sun. I realized that when I had a near-death experience when I was 21. That was 16 years ago. I'm about to be 37, and I had that same experience, similar experiences on psychedelics. I've had those experiences just through meditating. You kind of connect your identity with the greater identity of God. It's a beautiful thing. A lot of religions talk about oneness as well at certain points in their texts. Humanity has just kind of twisted their own flavor of God throughout the ages. Of course, man has tried to interpret God in its various ways, whether well intended or not. In somewhere in John in the Bible, even, it says that God lives in everyone's hearts. But for some reason, I believe the state governments have infiltrated churches to make people feel like God is outside of themselves, unreachable, some guy in the clouds, right? Some dude in the clouds watching over you. And this creates a very tricky dynamic by the way that we're raised and socialized. The government's like that mindset because when you put your power outside of you in spirituality, people also tend to do that with politics too. They put the politicians of their choice on a pedestal and hope for them to save them from their problems rather than going within. And that is a hallmark of this video. Sorry, it's a little windy. That's a hallmark of this video right here, is putting power outside of you versus knowing the power is within you. Because yes, that is going to help you attract your desires like nothing else. It comes so natural for us to focus on others, to blame, and I'm not saying that some people didn't hurt us. Yeah, they sure may have, and that's happened to me as well. But okay, so even though that's happened, where are we putting our focus today? Because putting our focus on that, something that passed forever, is not going to heal it. Of course, sometimes doing regression work, trauma work, therapy work is valuable to look back on, yes, but I'm talking about day to day. What are we focusing on? Because what I've noticed in my journey since things started really kicking into gear, started getting a law of attraction to work for me and seeing my dreams come together, is that now I focus on what I can control so much more. It's not even funny. Okay, did I eat well today? Did I meditate? Did I give thanks today? Did I work towards my goal a little bit? Because before I was, just angry and thinking about how people were out to get me. And that was my trauma talking, right? Because people took advantage of me, right? And I started to view the world through that lens. That people, and guess what? I continued to manifest situations, people, places, and things where people were taking advantage of me. So what you focus on grows. Key point to the law of attraction. Focus on empowering things like what I can do today, what I can give back today. When you focus on others so much, it can make you feel more like a victim to circumstances, which is the very opposite of the law of attraction that says the law of attraction works through you and through your words, your will, your intention, your actions. Whereas before we're trained to see that life is just happening to us and we can't, yes, things happen that are out of our control, 100%. But this is just about narrowing our focus to what we can control, what is going to help us bring about our goals. It takes time to get like this. So it takes training yourself. It takes repetition. It takes commitment underneath all that. It's like, I want to get this down. I want to integrate. I want to overcome. I'm not telling anybody how to think here because this is a shift in world views, right? But it's just like gravity, the law of attraction. I like to relate to gravity. You want to know how it works and you want to flow with it. You don't want to resist gravity and think you can jump off a cliff and survive. No, you might want to get a parachute and ride the air on the way down. Know how to ride the waves of the law of attraction by setting your intention straight, by setting your focus straight. That's the main point of this video. It's setting your focus through the lens of reality, which is God manifests itself through all things and it works through me, and it's an energy, rather than I'm waiting for God to answer my prayers and questioning God and blaming God. Why did you do this? Why did you do that? So this is a shift. This is monumental, and it can be scary, it can be disturbing, it can seem difficult, but I promise you, once you get it down thinking like this, it gets very effortless and it's a flow. It takes less energy than the opposite mentality of you waiting for things to hopefully happen to us or waiting for God to answer our prayers. That's a lot harder, rather than saying, I could get up and I have power today to make the best I can out of what I've got, where I am now. I was homeless and I was a recovering heroin addict when I started with this stuff, and I didn't have no money, no job, no place to stay, and starting to believe in these things and incorporate these mentalities, things started piecing together. Little opportunities started manifesting itself. And it's not a shame game either. I know that shame may come up when thinking about, oh wow, have I been doing this backwards all along? That's all right. Just speak to that shame, dust yourself off, be like, we didn't know better. That's okay. The people that raised me didn't come to life with a manuscript. They didn't know what they're doing. They're sick. They're messed up in the head too, probably. So that perspective helps brush off the shame a bit and move forward. So if you did it by liking this video, like it, subscribe to the channel. It helps a ton. Many thanks. Take care, everybody. Peace.